So the place we were staying at in Dewey had this really amazing Mexican restaurant near where we lived. And the thing about that is I've never had Mexican food before because this was my first time in America. And so I experienced some new food. And I mean, in every culture, like a variety of food is going to be very similar, right? But the first time I've ever tried guacamole was, I think, when I was 7, and it tasted amazing. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it came from an avocado. Tried salsa. We have like something similar to salsa in the Philippines. It's more for ceviche, but anyway. So I like eat literally all the guacamole that's on the table, and they bring extra, and I'm just like eating away. Right? Amazing experience. Amazing experience. And so I was like, okay, well, that's good to know. That's something I'll keep in the back of my head. Um, when growing up, I ate a lot of seafood, so it's not like I'm not familiar with like sashimi or ceviche, that kind of stuff. But we've never really had like Japanese style food because it wasn't just a common thing in the Philippines. But so I think a year later, when I was 8, they took me to my first sushi restaurant, and they sit us down, and as they're sitting us down, they start to bring all our extras like the wasabi, ginger, soy sauce. Sometimes they bring us like red chili flakes and whatnot. And as they're setting all this down, they put down this. I don't know why they would have done this to begin with. It was a big bowl of wasabi. So thinking that is guacamole, I take a big old spoon and I put it in my mouth. And mind you, we just got there, and my mom's like, "Why did you do that?" And I looked at her. I was like, "What do you mean?" And my dad's like, "That's not guacamole. That's wasabi." And I'm like, "What's wasabi?" And he like spit it out, and I'm like talking with my mouth full. And at the time, like this heat hasn't kicked in yet, and so I ended up swallowing it, and you could see the disappointment in my dad's eyes because he knows what happened. So I'm like, "Oh, it's not that bad." And then as like a mid swallow, all of a sudden, it hits me, like opens up my nasal cavity, just assaults it. And just like an understatement, if you've never swallowed a spoonful of wasabi, imagine like the brown Listerine, but you keep it in your mouth for 20 minutes or something, and it just never subsides, and it's just stinging the whole time. And so we literally just got there, and these people like around us were looking like, what the hell did that little kid just eat a spoonful of wasabi? And so now I'm crying and I'm freaking out. I was like, why is this so hot? And they're trying to tell me what wasabi is. And so the waiter brings us a bunch of water, and my parents are just like, oh my god, we just drove over here. It's like a 30-minute drive. We don't want to just leave now. And so they want me to try to brace through the rest of the meal, and I'm trying to, like, and I think I drank about like 3 pitchers of water, and I had to go up to go pee like 4 times. And so they bring us the food, and I try it, and I cannot taste anything. I cannot taste anything for like an entire week, and anything that came out the back end was just excruciating. It was just excruciating. So lesson there is, don't assume your loved ones or your friends know exactly what they're eating, especially if they're trying something new, or else they're going to end up eating a spoonful of wasabi.